Hello, everybody. This is Patricia Brown, and taking it to the streets again. But yesterday, I did an interview with Mary, and you guys were kind of saying that because of the street, the noise and all of that, you couldn't really hear her, and you really wanted to hear. So I'm doing a part two, and on Mary's story, and she's going to tell you everything, far as, her, what she went through and what she battled back then. So I'm going to give her the floor. So Mary, go ahead.
Um, I left off saying that how my health was doing. And the reason why I explained that was because half of it came from the drug use. Um, like I said, I was raped. I ended up losing the baby because of the disease that was in me that the guy gave me when he raped me. It's not fun out there for all the young kids, the older people. I'm not no goody tissue, but at the same time, I've been there and I've done that. I'm trying to right now straighten up my act once again because I did relapse, and that was very hard. When you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with life. It can be very hard. When you're around people that still using, temptation could be something too. Um, when I was out there, I was tricking, I was doing everything. I even had drug dealers in my house, and once they found out they could have made the money in there, they ended up kicking me out of my own house. And I walked the streets. I turned dates. My brothers and sisters was ashamed of me. They really didn't want to talk. I ended up meeting a guy one of the dates, and we dated, and we turned out little tricks. And he ended up telling me it was either him or the streets. And if I chose him, I would never have to worry again. And I chose him automatically. And when I did, my life changed. He wasn't no man, he wasn't no woman beater. He worked very hard. Um, he helped me find an apartment. He showed me how to cook all over again. I had even lost how to cook. I didn't know how to cook. Um, I knew it before I started using the drugs, but once I was out there, I lost all mobility of how to cook, how to sew, how to iron. I wasn't even washing my clothes or body. And he showed me all of that all over again. I've been with him for 23 years now. We have our ups and downs. We have our problems. Like I said, I'm not no goody two-shoe, but young girls and boys, older ladies and men, look at me now because drugs is nothing to play with. Cocaine, it will take everything from you. I done walked the streets. I done been beaten. I'm walking with I had many disease from hanging out there. I don't have AIDS. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. But I done had plenty of different stuff. Like I said, I've been raped several times out there in the streets. I miscarriage. I used to watch my mom look in the window and cry. Sometimes she'd be praying for me to get out them streets. She even called the police on me one time to bring me off the streets. But being that I was old enough, they couldn't do really nothing. I wasn't doing nothing but smoking. But I used to walk the streets so much and stay up so much to my body, I just dropped. People used to bring me and put me on my mother's porch because my body shut down.
Oh my God.
And they used to, when I wake up, I was on her porch. Didn't know who brought me home. She didn't know, you know, and when I went to sleep, I just went to sleep for days.
Mm.
I woke up in my house, nothing to eat in there but a big jug of water, a loaf of bread, and that was it. I done
Jesus.
went through it all.
Mm.
Um, Drug dealers, all they want is your money. While you looking nasty and bummy, they looking nice.
Mm-hmm.
They shining in their cars, they shining in their clothes, and you walk in the street looking like hell. Um, I'm not knocking nobody. It is what it is. But at the same time, that's my story because that's how I lived. I end up, like I said before, got in 2 relationships. The
Mm-hmm.
first one I got into, I went with the guy over 5 years. Um, I was working then at Holiday Inn. I used to come home and catch him in the bed naked with another girl.
Jesus.
I walk in, they beat me up for coming in on them. Um, and it was more than one time. He done put guns to my head. He used to lock me in the house to keep me from coming out when he out there in the street. Um, Stay beating me. I tried running away, going back home to my mom. He catch me at a store or anywhere by myself, and he makes me come back to his house. He took out the phone. I couldn't call nobody.
Mm.
Um, Several times my father had to come over there and get me. And no matter how my father came and got me, for some reason I went back too because I was in love.
Yeah.
Thought I was,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I think when the last time I caught him with the girl in the bed was just it for me. And I tore up everything in the house. I burnt up everything and could have went to jail because where I set the fire, it could have caught another building on fire.
Mm-hmm.
When I left him, he didn't have nothing but just what he had on, cause I did damage everything.
Mm.
She and him caught me going through a cut coming to my mom's house, and they beat me for that. I
Mm.
never forgot that. But the same girl he ended up with was the same one he ended up getting sick in Alzheimer's, and she treated him like a dog.
Mm.
He's dead now. So it took like a year, and I didn't want no more relationships, but I ended up getting in another one, was worse than the one I was in before.
Jesus.
He was beating me. He was taking my money. He made me sit and watch him and another girl. I would leave and he would find me and bring me back. And at the same time, it wasn't all his fault. It was some of mine too, because I thought I was in love again. Um, I got out of that because of my father.
Mm-hmm.
My father came and got me, and if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I will be right now.
Wow. Wow. I want to ask you a question. I know that that you took the floor, and I know that some of my viewers are probably wanting to know this too. But how old were you when all of this was going on, Mary?
I was about in my 20s, 30s.
Okay.
I was in my 20s, 30s. When I got in my 40s, I was still using. Still using. Like I said, Liberty Manor was a big thing for me. It was a 6-month treatment. I went there and did what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have relapsed. I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting my life together again. You see me in a chair, you see my weight. My legs is unbelievable because of the fluid.
Mm-hmm.
This is all coming from drugs. What it done did to my body.
Okay.
hmm Um, I'll tell you a little bit about where I'm at today, which is done got my life back together. I do
Mhm.
drink a little beer. I smoke my cigarettes.
Mhm.
I stay away from the people that's doing drugs. I try to anyway, but that's everywhere. But I do stay away. I watch who I be around and who I don't be around. Um, that's one of the reasons why I want to get from over here off of Brown Street because there's too much of everything going around me. And it's like I said, temptation is something.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're going through medical problems, when you're depressed, um, when you want to escape, that's a good excuse to use to call it escaping.
Mhm.
But the whole meantime, you just really want to get high.
Mm.
They'll say, well, I was depressed, I was feeling bad, I wanted something. No, you want to get high.
Mhm.
And I don't want that today. But I do drink my beers. I don't drink no liquor, and I smoke my Seneca cigarettes.
Mhm.
But basically, I'm just worried right now about my health. I'm
Yes.
filling up with fluid, and they said I got a bad heart, and it's not pumping everything the way it's supposed to be. And I'm only 58,
Mhm.
so that's kind of scary too.
Yeah. So you have but you have your healthcare nurse comes in. That's her on the porch, right?
That's my aide, and
Okay.
then I got 4 other people working with me
Mhm.
to try to release this fluid out of me.
Okay.
I'm big like this. It's some weight, but it's a lot of fluid.
Oh, okay. 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 Now, I know that, you were talking about a lot of stuff that was, that happened to you out in the street. And I remember it was this one specific story you really didn't we didn't get a chance to finish, but when you were talking about the legs.
The girl that I had a best friend, she was Spanish, and me and her used to go out and turn dates, together. And if she gets something first, she come, we hook up. If I get something, we hook up. We sit on the porch together. I mean, she had like 4 or 5 kids. Her mom used to take care of them, and her mom used to come looking for her to get her out the street, like my mom.
Mhm.
Uh, One day I seen her get in a white car, and I told her, I said, that guy looked funny. Don't get in that car. She got in it anyway. I didn't see her. I haven't seen her since then
Mhm.
for a couple of weeks. And I was asking everybody, did they see her? I went to her mom. Nobody seen her. And I think I was in Liberty Manors. I'm not sure, but I know in a group home because I
Mhm.
was also in a group
Are
home
you
for
was in the
three
group
years.
home? Okay.
Um,
In
that was
Rochester?
yeah,
Oh,
it
wow.
was Cornerstone,
Okay.
and it was a group home because I was like I said, I went to jail. They put me on probation, and I went into the group home
Mhm.
to keep myself together where I wouldn't go
Right.
to jail.
Mhm.
And I was sitting there, and they called me. Her mom did, and they came and picked me up. And come to find out, they found her in an abandoned house on Clifford near Clinton.
Mm.
Both her legs was chopped off and put on her shoulder.
Jesus.
Her arms was cut, and she was just really messed up.
Mm.
And whoever did it rolled her up in a rug and stuffed her in a closet. And the people went to fix up the house, and they was wondering why it was so stank. When they opened the closet door, the rug fell and everything fell out. It was her. She was so unrecognizable, but she had a birthmark. And didn't nobody really know that birthmark but her family and 1 or 2 of her friends.
Mhm.
And I knew the birthmark that she had on her. And it was her. Her
Jesus.
mom just, broke down. She left behind like 4 or 5 kids. Um, like I said, the streets is nothing to play with. For the young girls and boys today, please get your life together. Try to go to school. Try to get a job. Don't be sucked in. I was sucked in. I had also a friend die from full-blown AIDS.
Mm.
She lived with me, and she come crying to me, and she told me what happened. So I ended up letting her live with me because she didn't have no place to go. And when she did find her apartment, maybe a week or two later, she went to the hospital. She ended up dying. She was young too, about my age. She left behind 2 kids.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And what year was this?
I would say 2000 and maybe 8 or 9. It wasn't so long ago.
Yeah.
All of this was going on. I really didn't. I just, like I said, I had some years, over 10 years clean, because back then, you know, I was doing stuff to get myself together.
Right.
And like I said, I met this guy, and he went through a whole bunch of stuff with me. He's still going through some things with me.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just recently, 2008 or 9. So pretty much I'm just starting back over, getting my life together.
Right, getting your life together. Now I know you mentioned about the program that you went to. Can you tell other people too that, you know, just listening about, how many other women programs or places out there that will be able to help?
Oh, it's the ones I know is the Y. I think Liberty Manor's still open. They got a women's place on St. Paul. They all 6-month treatment. They got Journal House. It's a 6-month treatment. It's a lot of places if you look into it. Like I said, you got the Journal House. You got the Y. Liberty Manor's still there on Joseph. There's several other places that you can go to if you need the help and want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
If you need, you got to want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to go. I had hit my bottom, and I think when they found my friend in the house, and I know I was still walking them streets, that's when I hit my bottom, and I know it was time to straighten up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it could have been me.
Yeah, yeah. But you overcame that, and you overcame those demons, and you got yourself, cleaned up, and in treatment and all of that. So, I understand, sometimes, that happens to people. Sometimes you got to kind of hit rock bottom to come up, but eventually you will come up if you want yourself to come up. If you want yourself to stay down, then you're just going to stay down. But if you say enough is enough, that's it. You know what I mean?
And it was enough.
Yeah.
When they, I seen her, it was just enough, because like I said, it could have been me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was beaten, I was raped, I miscarried, I was some of everything out there. It wasn't nothing that I didn't do or haven't done when I was out there in them streets.
Yeah.
That's where to take you, and that's where cocaine will take you.
Yes, yes.
It have you stealing, it have you doing everything. It will make you kill your mother or your brother or sister if you that deep on it for money to get it. But luckily, I know a lot of dope dealers. I know I kept a house, and I kept people in there smoking, and that's what they wanted. So I brought them into my house to sell their drugs. I ended up getting kicked out of them, but I really never had anything coming up. We had love, and My mother taught us the values, and my father, and they taught us how to do with the little we had.
Mhm.
So when I walked them streets, I already knew how to do some stuff because I was taught. Whether I have or not, this is how you do some stuff.
Mhm.
We didn't grow up rich or middle class or nothing. We was really poor. Um, my mother used to go to them places to get us clothes if she didn't make them. Really didn't have a birthday or a good Christmas, but
Mm.
she made sure she had fruits, and she made sure she went to Salvation Army and got us a little raggedy toy and a new one. And we was happy with that
Mhm.
because we got some. Uh, it was just, I got more now than I had before.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm blessed.
Mhm.
I'm very blessed. I stayed in apartments, didn't have nothing. You had to sleep on the floor or a pile of clothes, you know. So,
Mm.
like I said, I woke up to a refrigerator with just a jug of water and a loaf of bread. Not even meat to put on the bread or mayonnaise.
Wow, that's something.
Hmm.
So okay, so what I'm going to do, and like I said, I know from yesterday, you wanted everybody to hear your story part two, and that's the reason why, we did a special, interview in your home, and just so you could bring awareness to some of these, these young kids that that's out there in the streets, and what you experienced when you were out there, and you're bringing awareness. So you know what? They need to take their butts home.
Right.
They need to take their butts home, go to school, get into some type of program or something like that. And Mary, I just want to say thank you again for giving me the opportunity to interview you, and also letting people know, about your story.
Hmm.
And I know that, you know doing these interviews, I noticed that people have stories.
Right.
People have stories and stuff, and sometimes you sit down and you listen to some of their stories, and they have stories. They've been through hell and back, literally
Right.
hell and back. So I just want to say again, Mary, thank you. But before we go, you're okay that I upload this to YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate you. And also on that note, guys, please make sure you tune in to my second show tonight. You guys already know is Let Me Tell You Something. I expect for you guys to all be there to support your girl. And on that note again, Mary. Oh, before I leave, I just want to say that in the future, I'm going to work on something. For those that want to know more a little about Mary, I'm going to have her to come on to my second show. Let me tell you something. That way, anybody that's in the chat will be able to come up on panel and be able to ask Mary any type of questions or something like that. Just that's if you guys want to. So that's something that me and Mary we may try to put together in the future. All right, guys. So I'm just trying to think anything else. Mary, is there something you want to ask me, or before we end this interview?
Um, my question. Well, first of all, you did a good interview. I liked it. That.
Thank you.
If anybody, like she said, need to know anything, you can always ask me. I'm up for it. I'm just tired of the killing. Young girls, young men, get yourself together. Um, Drug dealers, just be aware, that people do have lives too. Everything ain't about drugs all the time. Um, Teach them a little something first. Tell them something. of what they getting into before you just let them in. So thank you, Miss Pat, for letting me get some of the things out because I've been holding this so long and it's good
Yes,
to talk to
yes.
somebody.
You are so welcome, and thank you again for doing an interview with me. And on that note, guys, I love you guys, and thank you. And please keep tuning in to another street interview, or house interview, or whatever. Buses, planes, or trains. It ain't gonna matter. Of taking it to the streets. All right, guys. Bye. Say bye, Mary.
Bye.
All right, bye.